Alison. I'm the Programs Outreach and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. Thank you for joining me this evening for another episode of Book Chat. Tonight I'm going to chat with you about a really cool book that I found. If you're anything like me, you love tiny homes and sheds and all sorts of little non-traditional dwellings or hangout spots. And I found this book in our catalog when I was browsing through, and it just looked so cool. I had to check it out. And it's called Micro Shelters, 59 Creative Cabins, Tiny Houses, Tree Houses, and Other Small Structures. It's by Derek Diedricksen, creator of RelaxShacks.com. And he actually has created some of the shelters that are featured inside of this book. The little blurb on the back says, "Take a wild cross-country road trip with the king of all things small and funky, Derek Diedricksen, to explore the most creative, clever micro-shelters out there and what makes them work. Chock full of scavenging tips, ideas for leading designers, and a handful of building plans to get you started, this book will have your hammer hand twitching." Now, I'm not a creative type, I'm not a builder, so I don't know if my hammer hand was twitching, but my idea brain was definitely twitching, and I wanted to get one of these shelters in my backyard or just in my possession. The start of the book is full of different shelters. It shows different types of things that you could do. And like I said, some of these are created by the author. They are divided up into tiny houses, backyard cabins, camps, and hideaways, tree houses and stilted shelters, and things on wheels, playhouses, and nooks. Then part 2 is all about tools and materials that you'll need. So, gathering your tools and all the different types of stuff that you might need to actually build a shelter like this. Kind of skipped that section, to be honest with you. And then the second to last section is budgeting and salvaging, talks about different ways that you can cut down the costs. And the very last part of this book is actually 6 different plans to create some of these shelters. So I thought that was pretty cool, that it's both a very interesting photography book as well as a functional book. So of course, I'm going to show you some of the shelters that most caught my eye. And the first of these that I want is the Transforming A-Frame. I loved the look of this. It's very, very tiny. So all of the featured houses show the square footage and where they are. So this one's only 80 square feet. But how cute would this be to have as like a little hideaway, right? And I love that it folds out. So there's like a cool, hidden aspect to it. Just loved that one. I kept turning back to that page. This was another one. It's very similar. You'll see that a lot of mine are fairly similar. This one is called the Relax Shack. And I love being able to look outside. So having this wall of windows, I just can imagine curling up with a good book and a cup of tea in the rain and sitting out there. Loved that. Then in the on wheels section was the Professor's Pod. I loved this one. It's kind of got some of the same elements as the first ones that I showed you. This part that comes up and just a cozy little place to read. Love it. Now, what really got me excited about this book is that as I was flipping through it and I was in the treehouse section, I came to this picture, this treehouse, and realized I've actually stayed in this treehouse. So this treehouse is in Burlingame in Northern California, and it was actually used to be on Airbnb. They don't rent it out anymore, but I've actually stayed in this treehouse 4 or 5 times. So I thought it was funny when I turned to this page and saw this and was like, oh, I kind of recognize that, and then realized where it was. And I have pictures of myself up on this porch or sitting in these chairs and enjoying coffee. And here is a look at the inside of the treehouse. This treehouse is really cool because the tree is actually built into the formation of it. So there's a little loft bed up here and a day bed to sit in. So I was thrilled to see somewhere that I'd actually been. That was super, super cool. And I'm sad that they don't have it on Airbnb anymore, because I would recommend everybody go stay there. But if you don't know, Airbnb does actually have filters that you can do to look up tree houses or tiny houses. So if that's something that you like to do and you're going to stay somewhere on vacation and you want to look up some alternative types of housing, you can go on Airbnb and look up all sorts of different types of structures. But if you just want to take a little staycation through your imagination, I would definitely recommend checking out this book, Micro Shelters. And if you're interested in tiny houses and tiny shelters, we have a lot of different books in our collection addressing that topic. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye, everyone.